So, what is the truth of by whom does the hear, by whom does the, by whom, through whom does the chakshu see, by whom does the ear see, ear hear, by whom does the mind think, and by whom does the prana function? That was the question. The answer was, well, it is due to Atma. Atma's presence is necessary for the senses to exist, for the senses to function. Atma is necessary for the sense objects to exist and for the sense objects to be perceived. No. Is it clear? For the senses to be and for the senses to see, for the objects to be and for the objects to be known, Atma is necessary, and that Atma is free from all of them. It is there presupposing all of them, and therefore it is the eye of the eye, ear of the ear, mind of the mind, prana of the prana. That means what? It is the self of the chakshu. The moment I say it is the eye of the eye, that means it is not the object of the eye. See the whole tamasha. See the whole beauty of the teaching. The moment you say the eye of the eye, then it is not the form, because form is not the eye of the eye. Is it clear? Not clear. When you say the eye of the eye, that means it is not a form. And it is also not the eye. It is also not the eye. It's not the form. It's also not the eye. Why? Because the Shruti says it is the eye of the eye. That means it is other than the form and other than the eye. But is it away from both? No, because it is the eye of the eye. That means it is not away from them. It is the truth of the eye and truth of the form. There is a ghata, there is a pata. Can we say ghata is the self of the pata? No. Ghata is different, pata is different. But Atma is the eye of the eye. If it is the eye of the eye, then we come to see the whole teaching. It is not the form, because form is never the eye of the eye. And Shruti doesn't say it is eye, because it says it is the eye of the eye. That means it is neither form nor the eye. But it is also not away from both of them, because it is the eye of the eye, means the self of the eye. If it is the self of the eye, then it is the self of the form, because the self, the eye and the form go together. Therefore it is the self of the eye, the self of the form, the truth of the eye, truth of the form. That means it is the truth of the senses and truth of the sense objects. It is the truth of the realm of perception. Iti beautifully unfolds. Just one more. If it is the eye of the eye, then eye can't see it. If it is the ear of the ear, then ear can't hear it. If it is the mind of the mind, then mind cannot objectify it. Is it not? It cannot. That is what I said here. The Shruti says, don't try to objectify Atma. If you try to visualize Atma, my Atma, you imagine some kind of form, some kind of sound, some kind of feeling. Atma Bhava, a feeling that I am Atma. You see, don't entertain. Anything that can go away, anything that presents your attention is not the truth. When your attention is not the truth, what to talk of what presents to your attention? When the attention itself goes away in the sleep, what presents to your attention cannot be the truth. All that is not there in sleep is not the truth. Now you decide. All that you don't see in sleep is not the truth. The Jagat is not the truth. You don't see it. All that goes away from your attention, the Jagat goes away, the body goes away, that you are Mr. So-and-so goes away, time goes away, space goes away, forms goes away, पूरा जगत चले गया. What else remains? All that is not in Sushupti is not the truth. And what is in Sushupti alone is truth. Alone can be the truth. A philosopher can straight away get down to determining the truth right away. Whatever disappears in Sushupti can't be the truth. Because what is subject to disappear cannot be the truth. And if there is something in Sushupti, I tell you that should be the truth. In Sushupti, whatever is, that alone is the truth. Everything else is subject to disappear. Therefore, in Sushupti, who remains is yourself without individuality. As the witness of the absence of everything, the being alone remains. That being cannot be objectified through I vagara. That is said. Na tatra chakshur gacchati. Tatra, in the matter of Atma, na chakshuhu gacchati. Chakshu cannot go. Means chakshu can't see it. It's not a form. Sight cannot, eye cannot see it. Eyes can't see. Eyes can't see the Atma. Eyes can't see Atma. Na tatra chakshur gacchati. Eyes can't see Atma. Why? Because eyes themselves are there because of Atma. I am there behind the eyes. Eyes can't see me. Like as though spectacles can't see the eyes. Some drishtantam they give. So anyway, chakshuhu natatra chakshur gacchati. That means what? The chakshu can't objectify Atma. He says, all right, if the chakshu can't see the Atma, maybe the word can communicate. Na vak gacchati. Na, neither, vak, a word, gacchati, can communicate. Nor a word can communicate it. There you have to understand word means what? Word in general. A word in general, directly. A word cannot be the meaning of a word. Na vak gacchati means a word cannot communicate directly because it can't be the meaning of a word. Because any word you take, its meaning is always an object. You take any word, you pick up the dictionary and pick up any word from it, and then the meaning of it will be an object. Therefore, the Atma cannot be the meaning of a word. Cannot be a meaning of a word. Na vak gacchati. You will all see in the Bhashyam. भाष्य में सब देखेंगे कैसे वाक्य भाष्य में पदभाष्य में कैसा व्याख्यान करेंगे सब देखेंगे. अभी इतना तो समझ लीजिए, इट्स नॉट ए मीनिंग ऑफ ना मनहा. And mind can't objectify it, means it is not an object of thought. Like thought is an object of thought. You can think of thought, but Atma cannot be captured by thought. Why? Because the very self behind the thought is Atma. So now manaha. No manaha means what? Mind can't reach. Mind can't reach means it can't be an object of thought, literally. And then he says, this is all Arthavala. Na vidmaha, nor do we know. Na vidmaha, nor do we know. Na vijanimaha, nor do we understand. What is it? We don't understand. We don't know, we don't understand. Yatha, jaise, etad anusishyat. How one should teach it. Yatha, how. Etad, this truth, anusishyat, one should teach. You see? Not that he doesn't know how to teach. This is the way to teach. How to teach it? I can't bring it and show you. It has no form, otherwise I can bring it and show you. It's not an object, it can be objectified. It's not the meaning of a word, otherwise I can say a word and say the meaning of it, look for it in the dictionary. Therefore, one really doesn't know how to put it across. This is just to show, it is Arthavada to show the unobjectifiability of the self. Not that the teacher is being very humble. He is very nice Swami. He says he doesn't know how to teach. Then if he doesn't know how to teach, then why did he put it? Chakshushas chakshuhu, shrotrasya shrotram, manaso manaha, pranasya pranamiti. Then you should stop here. Then afterwards, why so much? That is exactly what is Shastra means. This is called Arthavada. Under what lingas are you going to bring it? There are Shad lingas. Upakrama, Upasamhara. Beginning and end. And there is Upapattihi. There is logic. There is Abhyasaha, emphasis. There is Apurvam. Something that is not born of any sense organs. It is imperceptible. That is called Apurvam. And then Phalam, Mokshaha. Now and Arthavada. Now under what category this sentence you are going to bring? We don't know how to communicate it. Means what? The difficulty is involved in. One doesn't know how to communicate it means what? Does it imply one's ignorance or does it imply the difficult nature of the truth in being communicated? Not able to follow. What is there? Does it highlight one's ignorance or does it highlight the difficulty involved in it? You know something, you know very well, and you want to put it, you had some nice experience, and you tell your friend, so I had a very beautiful experience, and then this is like this. You are communicating, and that person says, I don't understand. You are explaining, all right, हमको कुछ समझ में नहीं आता है, but you know it, and you are trying to communicate it, and the person doesn't understand, and then you make a statement, I don't know how to communicate it. What does it imply? Does it imply that you don't know what you want to communicate? Does it imply that you don't know what you want to communicate? Or does it imply the difficulty involved in communication? Do you really understand this point? It doesn't imply the ignorance of the subject matter, but the difficulty involved in communication. Therefore, when the teacher says here, one doesn't know how to communicate it, that does not mean he doesn't know. Means what? The difficulty involved in communication. The difficulty in being communicated means the difficulty involved in communicating the truth simply means the unobjectifiability of the self. Because anything that is objectifiable either can be seen or can be thought of, remembered, objectified. No difficulty in communication. But because the self is not something which is objectifiable, definitely there is difficulty involved. This is called Arthavada. Yatha yetad anusishya. How it should be, how one should teach it, we don't know. He says, how one should teach it, we don't know. We don't understand really. He's just breaking his head. I can imagine the halat of the teacher while talking to his students. I don't know how to put it across. I can very well understand his halat at that time. Because it is not objectifiable. You are all the time trying to communicate, and all along the students try to objectify it. Therefore he says, we don't know how to put it across. Why? Because it can't be seen, it can't be heard, it can't be objectified. Why? Because behind all perceptions, you are there most evident. You are that Atma. You are that Atma. You don't have that Atma. You are the Atma. You are the knower of everything. Iti. And now he says, it will all come in the Bhashya, now see. Anyadeva tad viditat. It is other than all that you know. Anyadeva, other than. Tad Brahma, viditat, from the known. Whatever you know, it is other than it. Whatever you know, it is other than it. What is this universe, known or unknown? known. It is other than the universe. Deha is known. Known means here objectified. Is it clear? Object. What is Deha? Known or unknown? Viditam or aviditam? Viditam. Atma is other than it. Senses, known, other than it. Thought, known, other than it. Memory, known, other than it. Aham pratyaya also is individuality. The entire individuality is what? Known, other than it. Anyadeva tad viditat means what? It is different from all that is objectified. It is different from all that is known. Supposing you say, maybe there is a peculiar form which I don't know. No. From the known form it is different, from the unknown form it is different. Supposing there is an object, heavenly object which I don't know. If I go there I come to know it. But still it is an object, is it not? Atma is other than a distant object. In fact, here the meaning is different. I am covering both the points. It is other than the known, aviditad adhi, and it is other than the unknown. First meaning you take, anyadeva tad viditad means it is other than the known object. Aviditad adhi means it is other than the unknown object. That is one series of meanings. Is it clear? Anyadeva tad viditat means what? It is other than, Brahman is other than the known object. Aviditad adhi means what? It is other than the unknown object. Because the known object is an object, unknown object is what? Object. Because it is unknown, it doesn't cease to be object. We object hai. Therefore it is other than the known object, it is other than the unknown object. It is one meaning. Now there is another meaning for these two, which is the shastric meaning, the correct meaning. The correct meaning is, when we say it is other than the known, it means it is other than the manifest name and form. Aviditad adhi means it is above the unmanifest. Supposing you think of the prapancha as unmanifest, that unmanifest situation of the universe also is not the truth. We can't say truth is the unmanifest absence of the prapancha. You can't say. Is it clear? Prapancha as manifest is not Atma. Prapancha as unmanifest is not the Atma. Neither the manifest object is truth, nor unmanifest object is the truth. Like even, just to see, like the known object is an object, unknown object is remote. Supposing in America there are some nice pleasant objects which you have never been. What is that? Viditam or aviditam? Aviditam. So a known object is an object, unknown object also is an object. Similarly, manifest object is an object, unmanifest object also object. Known form is a form, unknown form, form. Manifest form is a form, unmanifest form is a form. Therefore now, what is Atma? It is other than the known object and the unknown object. It is other than the manifest object and the unmanifest object. That means what? It is not object. That is what is called Anyadeva tad viditad aviditad adhi, other than or above the unknown and unmanifest. Is it not? Is it like any object known? No. Is it like any object unknown? No. Is it like any manifest object? No. Is it the unmanifest object? No. Is it a thing unmanifest? Some people think of Atma. Swamiji, you don't know Atma, I know it. No, it's all unmanifest. Means what? It's all abstract. Atma is abstract. Atma is all abstract. That means, are you objectifying it or not? Abstractness itself is thought of, is it not? Therefore, the thought ofness is there in that abstract thing. That makes it an object. Therefore, It is not an object at all. And all the time man seeks the truth to find it as an object. He wants to find Atma. We want to find the truth. And I want to claim myself as the founder of the truth. Everybody wants to find a school, you know. What is that school that you find? Truth or untruth? Untruth. Why? Because you found it. You found it. Whatever you find is a form, is truth, is untruth. Therefore, I want to discover the truth, and I want to claim that I am the discoverer of the truth. What is discovered if it is truth? The one who discovered, what is discovered is truth, all right. The one who discovered is what? Truth or false? If the discovered is the truth, the discoverer has to be false. If the discovered is the truth, then the discoverer has to be false. If you say, no, he is also truth, then he was there even before he discovered. So which is more real? Even before he made a discovery, he was there. The discoverer existed even before he made a discovery. And therefore you can't come across the truth. And the main instinct in man is to come across the truth. Please understand this thing. I want to come across God. I want to meet God. I want to meet truth. I want to come across. What is the truth? I want to know truth. I want to know truth. Nobody says, I want to know myself. Nobody says, I want to know truth. I know myself. I am a seeker. But the thought is away from me. Nobody makes himself the subject matter of contemplation. We all contemplate to discover the truth. We never contemplate to know what we are. Let us know what we are before we come to see what is the truth. What we are, this question never rises in mind. Who are we all here? Who is this I? Who is this I? Trying to know, trying to discover, trying to find happiness, trying to study. Who is this I? There is never a question about oneself. And therefore, because the truth happens to be oneself, you cannot discover it. You need not discover it because you are already there. What is to be done is not discovery. Understand the real nature of the evident I. The real nature of the evident I. The I is evident as the conscious being about whom there is a confusion that I am Deha iti, and that confusion has to go. That is what is said here. Abhiditadati. Then, iti sushruma. Thus we have heard. See, this is not again our conclusion. The teacher says here, iti sushruma. This is how we have heard from our teachers. We have heard from, see, Chakshu can't go there, ear can't go there, mind can't go there, and we don't know how to put it across. And it is other than the known, other than the unknown. This is how we have heard. It is Sushruma. Sushruma means, we have heard. The teacher who is teaching is telling. Who is telling this? The teacher is telling this. Iti Sushruma. This is how we have heard. Purvesham. This is how we have heard from our ancestors. Purvesham. Purvesham means what? Our teachers. This is how we have heard from our teachers. पूर्व आचार्यों के द्वारा हमने ऐसा सुना है. पूर्वेशम. This is how they taught us. पूर्वेशम. Who are those acharyas? Ye, jo, naha, to us, tat, the truth, vyachachakshire, taught. Those who taught us the truth, from them we have heard that it is other than the known and other than the unknown. Other than the known object, other than the unknown object, other than the manifest object, other than the unmanifest object. Is it clear? Iti, he throws up his hands. I don't know how to communicate it. Humse nahi hoga. इतना तो हमने सुना है. This is the methodology that our teachers adopted. That is other than the known and other than the unknown. No sense organ can objectify it. It is the very truth of the chakshu, truth of the ear, truth of the mind, truth of the whole universe. It's not the object, it is not the sense organ, but not away from them, yet the truth of them. That is yourself. This is the methodology that they have adopted for us. Is it clear? Then we will go into Bhashya Aram se. Then very good. Bhashyam is very, very elaborate. Okay, we'll see the Bhashyam now. First we will see Pada Bhashyam. Na tatra chakshur gacchati is the first sentence of the shloka. Na tatra chakshur gacchati. That he says, na, not, tatra. Tatra means tasmin brahmani. In that Brahma. Chakshuhu na gacchati. I can't function. Means eyes can't see that Brahma. If you literally translate, it sounds funny. The chakshu doesn't move in Brahma. Chakshu doesn't move in Brahma does not mean, that is not what we are interested in. Means what? Chakshu cannot see Brahma. Why chakshu cannot see Brahma? Because swatmani gamana asambhavat. So, the self cannot become an object of perception. The self cannot be an object of perception. Atma में गमन का संभव नहीं. Gaman here means chakshu ka gaman. Chakshu ka gaman matlab perception. If the chakshu functions, what is the type of function? Is it a physical movement? If the body moves, it is a physical movement. It is covering space. If the body moves, what do you understand? Covering distance, covering space, movement in space. Supposing you say the chakshu doesn't move, what do you understand? Chakshu doesn't see. Chakshu is moving, means what? Chakshu is seeing. So here gamana means what? Perception. So in the Brahman gamana is not possible means what? In Brahman perception is not possible. Means what? Brahman is not an object of perception. Simple baat. Brahman is not an object of perception. Tatha na vak gacchati. Similarly, it is not an object of a word. Tatha vak na gacchati. Similarly, Brahman is not an object of a word, a direct meaning of a word. Any word you take, Brahman cannot be the meaning of a word. Why? Because vachahi, only through a word, shabdaha ucharyamanaha. वाक के द्वारा क्या होता है? शब्दः, a word, उच्चार्यमाणः, being pronounced, abhideyam prakasheti. It illumines only an object. Abhideyam means an object, prakasheti illumines. This Padabhasha is certainly not by Shankara. Clumsy thinking. Here vacha he simply means what? Word doesn't objectify. He doesn't mean the faculty doesn't objectify. Vacha means what? Now vak gacchiti means what? A word doesn't objectify. It is not a meaning of a word. So now here, anyway, the vak brings about a word And the word objectifies an object. And Brahman cannot be objectified by a word. Which word is produced by? Vak, the speech. If the word cannot communicate the truth, if the word cannot objectify the truth, then the faculty of speaking, the speech also cannot objectify the truth. After all, what is the function of the speech? To bring about a word. Speaking means what? Speech is meant to bring about a word. It can create a word. And what is the job of a word? To illumine an object. Brahman is not an object, therefore it can't be illumined by a word. Therefore, prakashyati yada, when tada abhideyam prati, tada, then when a word illumines abhideyam, an object, then we say abhideyam prati, towards an object, vak gacchati tyuchyate, vak goes iti says. We say, because the word illumines an object, therefore we can say speech illumines an object. Speech is the faculty of speaking, word is what is spoken, and there is an object. Where is the direct relationship between what and what is the direct relationship? Word and the object. When the word can illumine the object, we can also say the speech can illumine the object, because it is the speech that brings about the word, and the word illumines an object. Therefore, vak gacchati means what? Vak, the speech moves towards an object. Meaning the speech illumines an object. How does the speech illumine the object? Because the word spoken by the speech illumines the object. Now, is Brahman an object? No. Therefore, the word cannot illuminate. Therefore, the speech also cannot illuminate. That is. Then, tasya cha shabdasya, us shabdaka tannirvartakasya cha, and its creator. The word and its creator. Nirvartaka, shabda ka nirvartak kaun hai? Speech, the tongue, the speech, the faculty of speech. So who brings about the word? Speech. Therefore the word or its manifester or its creator, called the speech, nivartakasya cha, karanasya. Karanasya means the speech. Atma Brahma, the self is Brahma. Brahman is the very self of the word. Brahman is the very self of the speech. Brahman is the very self of the speech, the self of the word. Like the clay is the self of the pot, in the same manner Brahman is the self of the word, Brahman is the self of the speech. Therefore Brahman cannot become an object of a word or object of speech. Is it clear? So Karanasya Atma, the self, Brahma is the Brahman. Brahman is the Atma of Vak. Brahman is the Atma of Vak, and Brahman is the Atma of Shabda. Vak brings about Shabda. And what is Brahman? The Atma, the self of the word, the self of the speech. And that self of the speech can't be known by the speech. The self of the word can't be known by the word. The self of the sight cannot be known by the sight. Ataha, therefore, na vak gacchati. The vak can't communicate. The vak cannot move towards Brahma. Means the vak cannot illumine Atma or Brahma. Like what? He gives a nice drishtantam. Yatha, just as Agnihi dahakaha prakashikaschapi san. Agnihi, the fire, dahakaha, it can burn. Prakashikaha, it can illumine also. Fire can burn, fire can burn, fire can illumine. So it has the capacity to burn and illumine. Prakashikaschapi san, hote hue bhi nahi atmanam prakashyati, but it can't illumine itself. Fire can't illumine itself. Dahativa, it can't burn itself. The fire can't illumine itself. The fire can't burn itself, even though it has the capacity to burn and illumine, but it burns something other than it, illumines something other than it, but it can't burn itself, it can't illumine itself. Means what? It can't become an object of itself. It can't become an object of itself. Therefore, the subject I cannot become an object of myself. I can't be an object of myself. I can't be an object of myself. I happen to be Atma, then how can I objectify myself? I can't objectify, I can't stand before myself. The knower cannot stand before the knower. The moment the knower stands before the knower that stands before the knower, that knower will be known, an object. He is no more the knower. In fact, the knower can never jump out and stand before himself as an object. Anything that stands before me is not me, is anatma, is an object. Therefore, in the same manner, tadvat, similarly, so just as fire can't burn itself, fire can't illuminate itself, the same manner, light can't illuminate itself, the same manner, Atma cannot be illumined by the word or the chakshu. Then, thak gaya. I think that is enough. I am feeling tired. Then comes another paragraph which will, up to this is enough. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevapasishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Tat Satyam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Shrutismrutipurananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritav Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. So we were doing, it is Ataha na vagacchati yatha agnir dahakaha prakashascha pisan nahi atmanam prakasheti dahati va tadvat. How the fire can't burn itself or the light can't illumine itself. It need not illumine itself. The fire can't burn itself, the fire can't illumine also itself. Because the fire is self-evidently hot and the fire is self-evidently luminous. It need not be made hot. Fire need not be made hot and the light need not be illumined. So the truth also cannot be made evident through something, cannot be made evident through the chakshu. If the chakshu makes the Atma evident, then chakshu will be a greater truth than the very Atma. Whatever illumines seems to have a greater reality. Therefore, Atma, just as the light need not be illumined, the fire need not be made hot. Similarly, Atma also being self-evident cannot be made evident through anything. If it is self-evident, that means it is not an object of, it is not evident to the sense organs. But man always wants to discover the truth through sense organs. Or he wants to objectify through the mind. So, he wants to arrive at the truth either as an object of sense organs or an object of thinking or memory or thought. That's not possible. That's why here the Shruti says, na vagacchati. The words can't reach the Atma. Na chakshuhu gacchati. Na tatra chakshur gacchati, na vag gacchati. Na tatra chakshur gacchati. The truth can't be perceived by the eyes. And the truth can't be illumined by a word. Navu manaha. The next is navu manaha. Nor even the mind. Meaning, it can't be an object of thought. When we say the mind can't illumine, it means it is not an object of thought. Because the truth is not that side of the thought, it is this side of the thought, it is the source of the thought, not object of thought. Truth is not, Atma is not an object of thinking, but the source of thinking. Navu manaha. What can mind do after all? Manascha anyasya sankalpayitru. Mind is, it does the sankalpa about other objects. Anyasya means other than Atma, means anatma. Anyasya means anatma ka. Sankalpa karta hai. So, mind can think of an object, can think of an object, adhyavasayitrucha, and it can also know the object. Mind can think of an object, mind can doubt an object, mind can remember an object, mind can love an object, mind can love an object, hate an object, enjoy an object, suffer an object, perceive an object, think of an object, remember an object, forget an object, understand an object. All processes about the object is all done by the mind. Means object becomes an object of thought. Na atmanam adhyavasayitvicha sat hoka means what? Mind being something which thinks of an object, which can understand the object only, it cannot think of Atma. Na Atmanam sankalpayati. It can't think of Atma. Adhyavasyati cha. Nor can it understand Atma. Mind cannot understand Atma. Here doesn't mean mind cannot understand Atma, तो फिर हम क्यों क्लास आते हैं? Mind cannot understand Atma means Atma does not become an object of thought. Mind cannot become an object. Atma cannot become an object of mind. Tasyapi Brahma Atma iti. Tasyapi Atma Brahma. Now Brahman cannot be understood through the thought because Tasyapi, for that mind also, Brahma Atma. Brahman is the truth. Brahman is the self of that mind. Brahman being the very self of the mind, Brahman cannot be understood by the mind. Mind cannot understand Brahman because the Brahman is the very Atma of the mind, the very self of the mind, the very truth of the mind. Like even water being the Atma of the wave, water is the Atma of, is wave the Atma of water or water the Atma of wave? Water is the Atma of wave. Clay is the Atma of pot. Similarly, you are the Atma of thought. Brahman is the Atma of thought. Therefore, if I am the Atma, the self of the very thought, can I become the object of thought? No. Therefore, I can't be an object of thought. In fact, I am the Atma of the thought. I am also the Atma of the object of thought. Because the object of thought and the thought being one block, well, whatever is the Atma of the thought is also the Atma of the object. Therefore, I am the Atma of the object and thought. Therefore, that Atma which is Brahman really, that Atma cannot be an object of mind. Tasyapi Brahma Atma. Na indriya manobhyam hi vastunaha vijnanam. Indriya manobhyam hi, through the senses and the mind, that is called indriya manobhyam. Through the senses and the mind, he, as it is prasiddham, as it is known to everybody, as is evident, as is well known, he, as is well known, vastunaha vijnanam. Here vastunaha means object, vijnanam knowledge. Knowledge of an object is either through the sense organs or through the mind. So through the mind, through the sense organs, what knowledge can take place? Only the knowledge of the object. Knowledge of an object alone can take place through the senses and the mind. Through the senses and the mind, you can't have the knowledge of Atma. So, indriya manobhyam hi vastunaha vijnanam. There, vastunaha means not Brahma vastunaha. Vastunaha means here vishayasya iti. Objective knowledge. The knowledge of an object alone can take place through the senses and the mind. The knowledge of Atma cannot take place. Tad agocharatvat na vidma. Tad agocharatvat. Atma being not an object of the senses and the mind. Tad agocharatvat means indriya agocharatvat manasaha agocharatvat. Agochara means avishaya. Not being an object of sense organs, not being an object of mind, you can't know it through the sense, you can't know it through the indriyas, you can't also make it an object of the thought. Then how to know it? इंद्रियों से भी नहीं जान सकते, मन से भी नहीं जान सकते, फिर कैसे जान ले? Means what? You are only elaborating the fact that it can never be known. You are saying it can't be known through the senses, it can't be known through the mind, it can't be known through the intellect, it can't be known at all. Why don't you make one statement, it can't be known? That's the end of it. Why do you say it can't be known through this, through that, through that, through that? Go on elaborating. It can't be known. Tadagocharatvat na vidmaha. The teacher says we don't know. Tad brahma idrishamiti. We don't know that Brahman is of this particular nature. Meaning what? We can't say that Brahman is of this particular nature. Not that we know, we don't know.